In the Impact segment tonight, how the media treats African Americans in politics. As you know, the press fawns for the most part over Barack Obama, but not conservative African Americans. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas recently weighed in on why the president received such favorable coverage.
Did you ever expect to see an African American president during your lifetime? Is that something you thought would happen?
The thing that I knew that it would have to be a black president who was approved by the elites, the media, because anybody they didn't agree with, they would take apart. And that will happen with virtually, you pick your person, any black person who says something that is not the prescribed things they expect from a black person will be picked apart. You can pick anybody, don't pick me, pick anyone. It was decided not to go along with it. There's a price to pay. So I always assumed it would be somebody the media had to agree with.
And in the interest of full disclosure, I clerked for Justice Thomas at the Supreme Court in the early 90s. Joining us now from New York is Fox News contributor Reverend Jacques DeGraff to weigh in on this issue. Reverend DeGraff, what do you make of Justice Thomas's comments there?
Well, I appreciate his sensitivity from what he went through during his nomination hearings, but the fact of the matter is that every African American who has stepped forward for major office at the presidential level and another office has undergone excruciating scrutiny. Look at what Barack Obama went through. They talked about his mama, his birthplace, his pastor, his religion. I don't think anyone has ever had their transcript questioned as Barack Obama.
No, we haven't seen his transcript. But
no one has asked for anybody else's transcript prior to Barack Obama.
I don't think it's been. Have they been withheld transcripts? I don't think so. I think those are questions about that.
No one asked for them.
So
the question is, why would you ask for it? Because but other than his being African American and the implication that he was there on affirmative action.
I don't want to get hung up on that, but you're saying that the reason people want to know his grades in college and law school is because he's black?
I'm saying no white candidate has been asked that.
Because I believe people have released their transcripts, and for the most part, you know what their GPA is. Again, I don't want to get caught up on that, but I don't think that's the reason that people are asking for that.
He graduated with honors from that college.
Well, I know, so what's the big deal? Just release your transcript. Let's move on to what Justice Thomas said, though. Do you disagree, Reverend DeGraff? I mean, you've been around this country. You speak all the time, talk to a lot of people. Do you disagree that conservative African Americans are held to a different standard or critiqued differently than more liberal, left-leaning African Americans in public life? I'm talking about whether it's Justice Thomas or someone like Dr. Ben Carson or Colonel Allen West. Do you think that they are treated differently by the elites than the
I think they're received differently in their home community, and consequently, because of that, they're subject to scrutiny in the media, but no more differently than a lot of African American leaders who are received warmly or have great support in their own community are received by that same mainstream media.
So you don't think there's any difference? You think if Colonel West, for instance, happened to be liberal and for, I don't know, against the Defense of Marriage Act, or just more liberal on a bunch of issues, affirmative action and so forth, don't you think that Colonel Allen West probably would have gotten a different ride in the national media than he got when he was running for re-election? Well,
I think a lot of people neglect the fact that media is about relationships. You said that you clerked for Justice Thomas, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you have a relationship.
No, thanks. Nothing wrong with it. It was a great honor. What do you mean, nothing wrong with that?
The point I'm making is, that's not the point I'm making. The point is that you have relationships, and when people have relationships, they tend to allow people to have access. And so I think that's really more central to the idea.
So Colonel Allen West and Ben Carson just need to be nicer to the media figures, and they'll get better coverage?
Well, I think if their views were closer to mainstream America, they'd get better coverage.
The views are closer to mainstream America. We appreciate it. Reverend DeGraff, thanks so much. And directly ahead.